Good morning and welcome to Ask the Expert, an award-winning daily series from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. to help small businesses. You can ask us any questions in the comments, or you can use the hashtag QBATE on Twitter. If you need any more advice, you can join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook, where the accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. During this live session, we will be running a poll, so please do engage with it, and I'll reveal the result at the end. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Eva Mrazikova, and I am digital accountant and trainer in GMcG Group Limited. We are based in Northern Ireland, and from the traditional accountancy and tax services, we do offer specialized tax and corporate services. We also do have very successful forensic departments. Myself, I am responsible for digital onboarding of our clients to cloud-based or digitally based accounting softwares. And hand in hand with this goes training, internal and external. So I would be responsible for the training of staff and also for the training of our clients with the onboarding and the follow-up training as well. So it's very interesting role, and it's amazing to see the progress of our clients when they start knowing completely nothing, and kind of when you see them develop during the process, and actually that this is helping them to succeed in their business. It's very, very nice to see. I'm going to start with just a quick recap of the current job support scheme and regulations and self-employment support scheme, just in case you need some clarification. So, as you know by now, job retention scheme has been extended, and in the month of November, the employer will be able to claim 80% of the usual employee salary, which is capped to $2,500 per month per the employee. So if we compare it to October, where the employer was only able to claim 60% and they had to top it up by another 20%, this is a quite significant improvement. As before, the employer is bearing the costs of employer national insurance number and employer pension contributions. So to be eligible for this, your employee has to be on your payroll and submit it on the payroll through RTI by midnight on 30th of October. So that's the deadline really that you have to bear in mind. This scheme still works as a flexible furlough as before. In terms of self-employment support scheme, as we know, it has been extended by another 6 months, and any self-employed individuals that have been previously eligible for self-employment support scheme are eligible now. Doesn't mean that they have to claim the grant, as long as they fulfill the criteria for the eligibility, they will be eligible now. So those self-employed individuals are maybe currently actively trading at the moment, but they are negatively impacted by the COVID because obviously their demand dropped. Or we have self-employed individuals who were previously trading but are temporarily unable to trade due to COVID-19. So those groups are eligible. You must, as self-employed individual, you must have filed tax return for 18/19 tax year by 23rd of April. And you must earn more than 50% of your total income via your self-employed business. So what will be paid out by government? So they take average trading profits. They have to be less than 50,000 per year for you to be eligible, and they take 80% from this, and you get it paid. So third grant will cover the period from November until January, and in terms of the next grant, there will be further guidance available as we go on. This third grant will be available to be claimed from 30th of November. As before, self-employed individuals have to apply themselves. Their accountants can't do it as before. Also, if you're still struggling with your income, eligibility for self-employment support scheme doesn't make you ineligible for the universal credit. We also have local lockdown payments, which are based on your rateable business value. So this support goes from £1,300 per month to £3,000 per month. And this is being administered by the local authorities. So this is kind of a quick recap. I'm sure as my colleagues before recapped on this. Now I'd like to go to the topic which is very close to my heart, and this is cash flow. So really many businesses on a daily basis would be asking me how we can have healthier cash flow. What can we do to improve? Because it's very critical at the moment. So just a few points that I would like to think about. Review all your spending transactions and direct debit. We are kind of creature of the habits, and we set up something and maybe we forget even that we have it set up, but the money still goes out of your bank account. And also we have sometimes subscriptions that we don't really need. So nobody will stop those for you, even if you're not using specific membership or subscription. So you need to review your bank statements and really decide if what you're paying, if you are utilizing things, and then also if you still need it. Okay, be critical to yourself. The other thing is thinking, and this will be individual with every business, but think about going paperless. Many businesses would kind of print loads of pages of paper and posting those to clients, different documents. Can you maybe explore if you can't export your documents, say, into PDF and digitally email them to your clients? Is there an opportunity maybe to decrease your paper printer cost, your postage cost? Obviously, have GDPR in mind. The other thing, debtors. Do you have debtors high all the time? If the answer is yes, perhaps something is wrong. Do you need to review your credit control procedures? How effective is your credit control? What the procedure entails? Is it sufficient enough? If you have credit terms, do your clients adhere to those? Okay, things like that. Be really critical and kind of take a step back to ensure that you kind of taking a bit more critical view on this. Also, acquiring new customers. Oh, it's fabulous if we have new client. We're so happy. Oh, I bagged new client. Hold on. Did you do a credit check on this client? Because acquiring the client is just one part. It's just the beginning. But if the client, no matter how wonderful things he asks you to do, if they're not able to pay you for those things, do you really want that client? So make sure, if you can, that you do credit checks on your clients. Also, issuing sales invoices. Is there any point in maybe issuing interim invoices. Don't be holding off sending sales invoices to your clients as soon as you finish the project. But if you have, for example, big amounts to bill, can you maybe agree interim billing as the project goes on? So again, that will give you more time to kind of gather more cash flow that you need. Early settlement discounts. Would your customers take advantage of it? Would it help your cash flow? Try to close the gap between your accounts receivable and accounts payable, because if the gap is very big, this means that you're always kind of in the hole where you are waiting for the money. Bulk purchase. Do you need to buy a big stock? Can you afford to have stock lying in your warehouse for a long time? So those are just few things that I would like to consider. There is many more, but as long as you take critical view of your situation, don't try to bury your head in the sand, because that's not the solution. You want your business to survive, you want to progress, you want to move on. So please take this time and review, reevaluate. And I have to obviously mention QuickBooks, amazing cash flow tool where you can play with the scenarios and you can try different situations. So use it. It's a wonderful tool. And any digital keeping software, obviously QuickBooks is great. Okay, so I will vouch for QuickBooks, but it gives you much more transparency with your finances. I'm going to start asking questions from you guys, and thank you very much for all of your questions. So the first one is from Abby from Facebook Messenger. Hi Eva, I had a 5-year-old restaurant business which I have recently converted to an online delivery business. Wow, very good. Most of the payments are happening online and I need to move to a cloud accounting solution. What steps should I take to ensure a smooth transition? Abby, well done for your innovative approach to keep your business alive. It's great to see. So I think your decision to move on the cloud accounting solution is absolutely right on spot, because it will make your life easier. So depending what you're doing now, what record keeping you're doing now, I'm assuming maybe you use Excel spreadsheets or manual books. So kind of you starting from scratch. Make sure you speak to your accountant about what they can offer you, what they can help you with. Also, if you go on QuickBooks Intuit website and if you need any help, we have a wonderful team of advisors and professionals who can help you with the setup and can guide you. Really, you need to ask yourself what things you want from the software, what would benefit you, what you need. Based on your business, I would say that QuickBooks it's very, very good fit for you. So make sure that you have everything set up correctly when you import in your contacts, whether customers, suppliers. Don't just do it quickly, but make sure that you have all the details, contact details, credit terms, emails, anything that you can get, kind of that you have a full package of information in your software. And also think about your costs and about your different costs, how you're going to divide them, so then actually you can see and you can track your costs. With the online payments, they are fabulously integrate with QuickBooks, many of the providers. So I think you will not have a problem with that, again, which will help you. Also, online banking, make sure that you utilize live bank feeds with Intuit, because this is a fabulous tool as well, and it will help you to keep on top of everything. So I think there is a lot to talk about, and I think we could talk for hours, Abby, about this, but please feel free to get in touch and we can elaborate on this further. As I said, if you have an accountant, get in touch with your accountant and they can help you. But I wish you the very best of luck. Thank you. Gemma from Instagram DM. Can working with an accountant make the self-employment support scheme application quicker? Is there any guidance about COVID vulnerable employees to say it's not safe for them to come back to work? Gemma, thank you very much for, again, very relevant question. So, can working with accountant, obviously, if you have accountant, that's very good, because I would assume that they have your returns, records and everything. So they will be able to tell you quicker, probably, if you are eligible, if you are in the eligible group. But they can only advise you, really. It's not really difficult. There is link online. They can send you the link and you can apply for it, or you can ring to HMRC. So kind of, it's good, obviously, it's good to have accountant, because they should know on the spot about your figures, whether you're eligible, what other information you will need. So definitely they are good support to make this application process smoother and successful for you. In terms of the guidance of COVID vulnerable people who say it's not safe, I think this has to be done. I'm not really expert in that part, but I would say if somebody is in the vulnerable group, they would need to speak to their GP and speak to their employer. If they had been in the vulnerable group before, they very likely to be vulnerable now. So I think similar rules would apply. Okay, so probably just go along those lines, but definitely speak to their GP and speak to their employer about this. Obviously, those are worrying times for vulnerable people. Gemma, thank you for your question and good luck. Louis from Facebook Messenger. I am a pub owner in mid-Sussex. While there is no clarity on when the restrictions will be lifted, is there any financial aid for businesses who have had to remain closed? Now, thank you very much, Louis, for your question. And I do understand this is a very difficult time for you. And it's very blurry with the restrictions, but it's very difficult also for anybody to predict what will happen. So it's kind of, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't sometimes for the government. So it's difficult. In terms of the financial aid, as I said at the beginning, there are local lockdown support schemes in place. What I would do, I would get in touch with your local councillor or with your council themselves, because they will know, they will have the exact idea what support is available for you guys in your specific area, and also if it's kind of locally restricted, local restrictions. Again, the council would be the best. Obviously, make sure if you have employees that you take advantage of the job retention scheme and also self-employment support scheme. But definitely I would speak to your local councillor or your council, because they will know the best what other help is available in your area. And good luck, Louis, with all of this. Mikhail from Facebook Messenger. Hi, Eva, you spoke about early settlement discount. Can you please explain how we can implement it? I have an electronic supply business. I supply products from the main brands to retail stores. Mikhail, thank you for your question. So just kind of really vague, broad example of this. Let's say you have a customer who usually pays you in 30 days. That's your credit terms. Okay. For example, you issue £10,000 invoice to them. You can implement early settlement discount by saying you can take discount of 2.5% from this £10,000 if you pay within first 2 weeks after the issue of the invoice, which means if the customer wants to utilize the discount, they will have to pay you not after 30 days, but in the first 14 days, where then you can take 2.5% discount of their invoice. So it kind of works like a reward for your customers if they pay early. But it means that kind of your waiting period drastically decreases and you have funds available. So this is kind of roughly, you can have different, say 2.5, or it depends really on your business as well, and you need to do your figures to make sure that this is not going to damage your bottom line too much. Okay, so you can have 3% within paid within a week, 2.5 paid within 2 weeks, and so on. So, but you need to do your figures to make sure that whatever you offer at one side, it is good for your customer, but it is good for your business as well. Okay, so make sure you know your figures. And good luck with that, Mikhail. Ajit from Instagram DM. I have only recently started my business in June this year. I want to learn more about how to conduct customer credit checks. What should be the ideal credit period? I supply diet supplements products to various stores. Thank you very much, Ajit, for your question. So yes, there are websites available that you can do this credit control. I would probably do it minimum 9 to 12 months. Really, I would say it depends on how much they are buying from you, because it's different if it's £100 or if it's £5,000. Okay, the higher the amount is, the higher is the risk, really. So you need to bear that in mind. Some of those credit checks, you have to pay for them as well. So just do your research and make sure that you kind of know the market and try to do as much of this, yourself. Also, the healthy bank balance, kind of you get to know your customer, maybe do your research online about this customer, how they are trading. Sometimes people are leaving feedback on their websites, they sell or buy from. So this is all indication of how they are, how they behave in the business environment. So make sure you do your research, and very best of luck with that. Sindra from Twitter DM. I couldn't pay my self-assessment tax in July. How do I calculate the extra interest that I need to pay? Sindra, thank you for your questions. I know that those self-assessment payments have been delayed, so you didn't need to pay in July. I think they are now extended until the end of January, if not more. The best thing you can do would be to log into your business account, and you will be able to see if there is any interest accruing or not, rather than trying to calculate it yourself. That's what I would do. If you don't have your personal tax online HMRC account, make sure you set it up, because you see everything clearly there, and you don't need to be calculating or trying to estimate any extra cost. So that would be my advice. Just log in and look at your account with HMRC there. Okay, thank you for your question. Pamela from Instagram DM. How much time does it take for the payments of the self-employment support scheme grants to reflect in our accounts? I'm waiting for the application to open on November 30th. Pamela, thank you for your question. And I know many of you guys and self-employed are waiting. This is the lifeline for you. So I would have envisaged from the application between 5 to 10 days, if not shorter. I think it worked very well in the past, and the payments have been processed fairly quickly. So I wouldn't envisage any long wait, as long as you qualify, all the checks, are done. So I do think that you shouldn't be waiting for very long time. But I do understand it's very worrying time for all of you guys. So good luck with that. Stephen Hawthorne from Facebook Live. Hi, I was with a previous accountant, but they have ceased after the last lockdown. Goodness. I am needing to set up a payroll and was wondering if I can backdate payroll to August when they last produced me a payslip, and I will be able to apply the furlough through QB. Thank you, Stephen, for your question. This is very unfortunate situation for you, I must say. So yes, you can date back to August to your last submission. There will be probably just notice for late filing notice you get from HMRC. The issue I would see would be, do you have to-date figures after your last submission? Because that's very crucial. You can do everything through QuickBooks. They have fabulous 2 types of payroll software, standard and advanced, depending on your needs. So QuickBooks is more than capable of handling this. But the setup of the payroll, or the kind of the transition, the migration of data, it's very important, and especially in payroll data, that you get it right. So I would be wondering if you have your total pay to date, your total tax to date, the tax code, student loan, and all of those things that the employee had. Do you have all this information when you are setting up and migrating the data onto QuickBooks? In terms of the QuickBooks payroll, you will be able to set it up. It's very straightforward. It will guide you through it. Again, you can contact QuickBooks support. They can help you, or look online. There is a lot of guidance available on Intuit QuickBooks website. And yes, you will be able to process furlough pay through QuickBooks payroll as well. It's not an issue, not a problem at all. Just make sure before you do any submission that you do have the correct information, because we are working at the end, we are working with people's pay. And the last thing you want for the employee to get a letter from the HMRC saying that they owe them tax. So you need to make sure that whatever you're setting up, it's correct. Happy to help you further if you want to get in touch as well. So, but thank you very much for your question, and good luck with that. Parker from Instagram DM. I am not eligible for claiming self-employment support scheme grants because I am recently self-employed. Can I claim universal credit, or is it the eligibility criteria the same as the self-employment support scheme grant? No, definitely, Parker, I would advise you to speak to people in universal credit and try to see if you're eligible and if you can apply. Don't be just thinking, oh no, I'm not eligible. And speak to the employees. If you go to your local social security agency or job center, speak to them. There might be local grant, or maybe at least free of charge training, retraining available that you can avail of, and it can kind of help you to survive, definitely income support or anything like that. So make sure you explore all the options. It is worrying time for many people. So I wish you all the best of luck with this, Parker. So this was my last question, guys. And as always, thank you so much for all your questions. They've been fabulous. I can see you all well tuned in, and it's been a pleasure to answer all your questions. Now I'm going to announce the poll results. So we have asked you, do you feel confident your business will thrive in 2021? So 50% of you said yes, and 50% of you said no. Now, guys, I know it's tough. The 50% who said no, it's still, in my opinion, very high number. And I do hope that as as the weeks and months are coming, that you will feel more confident that your business will thrive. Make sure you do plenty of research and you have your eyes open for any opportunities, any support that is available for you guys out there, so you can maybe feel more positive about your future. Make sure that you kind of trying to think differently outside of the box in order to move with your business to 2021. But I wish you all the best of luck, and thank you. If you have any more questions, you can get in touch with me on QuickBooks. You can get in touch with the QuickBooks support team or myself on LinkedIn, GMcG/Eva Mrazikova, or you can use our website for further details, www.gmcgca.com. Coming up on Ask the Expert tomorrow is Daniela Perry, who is the founder and CEO of Yopi, a next generation femcare company that provides sustainable health and wellness products for women of all ages. A reminder that if you need any more advice, you can join the official QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook, where accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. I have really enjoyed answering all your questions. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I wish you all a great day. Thank you. Bye.